Hello guys, it's Glurmit here, and today's video is going to be a bit of a longer one. Recently, in one of my most recent streams, I actually went through and did the KAM mission in detail, went over everything from mods to mechanics to gameplay. And I've got it all here in one video for you to watch. It's all going to be timestamped, so it's easily accessible, and I hope you enjoy. Just remember, this is taken from one of my streams, so if you want to watch the stream in full, then click the link in the top right of the corner now. I hope you all enjoy. In terms of modding, these are not the mods we're going to be using. So for Shakti, I like to use health sets. Now if you don't have good mods, or if you have subpar mods, you're going to want a speed set in here. So the aim is, ideally, you want to be going as fast as possible, really. Now I like to aim for, say, 300, 315, 320. I mean, some people go 330, some people go even higher than that, and that's fine. But I can do that with a health set. So for me, I'm going to run a health set. Now, in terms of primaries, right, you're going to want health, crit avoidance. Now, if you have a good crit avoidance arrow, like this one's 14 speed, this is not bad. This, for most of you, would be a mod that you'd probably want to use. But it would be stupid not to use this, because it's 27 speed on a health primary. So that's the one we're going to use today. And then I like to just stack her health, because in the KAM mission, the most important character is the lead. Because if the lead dies, you can't cleanse trampled. If you can't cleanse trampled, you're probably going to lose. So we're then going to run this mod, because it's got very fast rolls there. We're going to run this one. And then again, we're sticking with those health primaries. Now, if we're looking at other stats that matter or don't matter, right? So protection, irrelevant, don't bother. Offense doesn't matter. Not on characters like this. We're literally just looking for health, right? And then we're gonna take off this. I'm gonna take off this. We're just gonna go for the fastest health mods we have. So we have this one, and then we have this one. So we are actually looking at 332 speed, 115k health. This, honestly, guys, this is overkill. Now, if I was to show you, just out of curiosity, if we put that crit avoidance arrow on, we are going down to 319. But trust me, that critical avoidance makes a big difference. So for some of you, that would probably be the play. If you can get like a 15 speed crit avoidance arrow, that's what I kind of recommend. But you know, for most people, I'm going to be honest, guys, for most people, 15 speed on the arrow is actually pretty good. I would say most players who are just getting into the KAM mission probably don't have, you know, 30 speed or 25 speed plus on the arrow. So that is Shakti done. Now, looking at Rex, he actually has some very specific modding. Now, I like to go with a speed set first, okay? And we just want to go with the absolute fastest mods. Again, nothing else matters here. You just want to go with the fastest mod you have. So this is 23, but I think we actually have a faster triangle. So I'm going to save that spot. You'll see in a second why. Now we'll go with this one. And then we're going to go with Gideon's one. Might be our fastest, really. Oh, interesting. And then we're going to take off the speed set. Keep the fastest mods on. I don't think we're not even sorting by speed. I did think that was really weird for a second then. 26. I knew we had a faster one, which actually was on our speed set after all. That's still it. Oh, it's every time we're changing it. Damn, that's annoying. Anyways, ignore my my failures here, guys. I don't mean to fail so bad. Wow, that's actually 420. It's not bad. 420 again. Okay, let's take off the speed set. Let's sort by speed. And we're going to go to the circle. 26. Now, you're going to probably be wondering why I'm not really bothered about keeping sets. Like, you'll see I have a tenacity set here. And I'm going to be honest, it doesn't actually make a difference. Because The thing with Rex here, guys, is you just want him to be as fast as possible. See, we've got 333 speed. Now, health-wise, you're normally aiming for about 60 to 65,000. But if you can manage like 330 speed and it's less than 60k, that's okay. That's okay. Also, Cable, welcome to the stream. Thank you. I'm back. It's been good. It's been good. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Glurmit? Oh my word, that's such a crazy. So, yes, Rex is now looking pretty good. The main thing is speed and health. You don't want him to be too powerful, like in health-wise, because if he is, all that's going to happen, guys, is that he's not going to sacrifice. And if he doesn't sacrifice, you've lost. Okay, so, for Echo, you have two options. You can either go very slow, high offense, very fast, very high offense, or you can go crit damage, crit chance. Ah, sorry about losing. That kind of sucks. I'm sorry about that. But look, you have to lose sometimes. You know, you can't win these things every single time. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're actually gonna run an offense set on him. So we're gonna run this one. That's absolutely fine. We're then gonna basically run my starkiller set. Or my FedEx set, just one or the other. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. That's 5% offense. This one is decent as well. And then we need a health set there. So this is what we're running on Echo. Now, the speed is reasonably slow, I'll be honest. It's only 254. But, you know, we're getting 8,500, almost 13,000 special damage, which is perfect. Now, some people like to run crit damage. Especially on the triangle, even on offense, like if you can't get the offense to this high, running a crit damage triangle on an offense set is actually pretty good. But I like to run very high offense on my Echo. My Echo's only Relic 7, so he's not like crazy high. My Arc Trooper is Relic 8, and I run exactly the same sets. So we're going to be running health and offense again. Again, I like to run these offense primaries. It's kind of up to debate whether that's what you should be doing, but yeah, it's okay. We're going to run this one because it's got 4% offense there. Speed? Honestly, outside of Rex, I wouldn't worry about speed on these guys. I don't really think it makes too much of a difference. We'll run this one here. And if we look at Arc Trooper, 12,300 is kind of the sweet spot. Now, if you want numbers to aim for, I would say on Arc, aim for 10,500 to 11,000 if you have a Relic 7 or lower. What do you mean Relic 7 means nothing? No, it does mean something. But yeah, maybe I went a bit overboard with that comment. And then finally we have 5s. Now 5s is actually quite interesting. So there are multiple ways you can mod this guy. And it's kind of up for debate. So the traditional way is just to make him as healthy as possible, like Shakti. The other option is add in some crit avoidance. And if you want to be a big brain, you know, like 10 million IQ or whatever, people actually do this. Say you, for some reason, have no good health mods, right? And this is going to blow some of your minds, I can already tell. So you go health primary on an offense mod. Okay, I'm going to equip these. I'm just going to show you. Now, I don't actually have the mods for this because I'm not a big brain, unfortunately. I wish I was. And then you put in the health mod, which can't be health primary. We are going to switch it to health mods afterwards, but I just want to show you guys what I'm talking about. And then we put in this one. Because remember, when he dies, he's stat sharing. So say you have him Relic 8, Relic 9, like your big brain. He's going to probably be getting the 90,000, which is where you want to be minimum. But this is a big boost. And remember, he's stat sharing. So if you can't necessarily hit the thresholds on Arc and Echo, doing something like this can be helpful. But it's not something I would recommend unless you just want to flex really. I'll tell you what, one time I was walking some people through the mission, and I was modding like this, and I got through everyone and then forgot about 5s, and I got into the mission, right? And I loaded in, and the guy I'm streaming with, he was watching me, he goes, how did Fives die in like 2 hits? And I was like, maybe it's just unlucky, you know? And we fast forward. Sacrifice comes in, you know, I'm feeling pretty confident about myself. And Arc Trooper goes from max health to red in 1 hit. And I'm thinking, okay, this is a little bit, you know, sus. I don't really know what's going on here. And then when the match finished, I won, by the way. I went to my mods, and you would never believe it. I actually forgot. To put mods on Fives. He had no mods at all. It was a real tragic time in my life, I'm going to be honest. But yeah, so this is what we run on Fives. He's very fast, very high health. You can do the offense one instead. See, we're actually losing like 700 damage here. So yeah, that's kind of the option. And again, you can run crit avoidance instead. That's kind of up to you guys to decide. So, when you get trampled, you lose 50% max protection and 10% defense for each stack, max 5. Now, obviously, that is 50% and then 50% on top of 50% and 50% on top of 50%. And basically, after 3 or 4 stacks, you have no protection at all, right? So that's why modding for protection makes no sense. With the exception of Bad Batch, there is actually a way to actually mod some protection, because they have very weird ways of working. One of the reasons Omega's so good in that lineup is because when she uses her I can't remember what it's called now. It's the second special. The one where she like gives everyone buffs. It actually still gives you protection up. Obviously that's based on max health, but the point is you can still gain protection in that sense. But for the most part, if you have trampled, you do not have protection and you lose defense. So modding for those 2 things is just really silly. Don't do it. Now, on Jango Fett, he does not lose any of these. Instead, he loses tenacity for each stack. Now, this is kind of irrelevant. Doesn't really do too much. With the exception of Bad Batch, because you can land stuff there. But again, we're not talking about that today. Now, the special. What it's going to do is it's going to inflict trampled on everyone. This includes you, this includes everyone, includes Jango Fett and everyone in the game. Now, this attack does 10% more damage for each stack of trampled on all enemies prior to the attack. It can't be evaded or resisted, which is very important to take into account. So you always want to kind of keep an idea of when this move is going to be used. Because the second this is used, everyone's going to get trampled. And we'll talk about why that's important in a minute. So now looking at this here, at the start of each turn, the Reek gains 2% offense and critical chance stacking. And each time the Reek is damaged, it gains 1 speed stacking and 3% turn meter, which can't be. Is it the battle easier of Bad Batch? No, but if you have very high relics and you know what you're doing, it's more reliable. Not easier, but more reliable, because you have more ways of recovering in a bad position. For example, in this lineup, if Shakti dies early, the run's normally done. If, say, Hunter dies early in the others, you can sometimes still win. But the other thing is, the 501st one's been used for a long time now, so the strategy is more refined. Whereas the Bad Batch one is still relatively new. So basically, every time you're hitting this thing, it's gaining so much turn meter and offense and everything else, and it's kind of scary. So it's immune to stun, stagger, turn meter reduction, max health reduction, marked, and death. It also ignores taunt, which is why it's very important to know you can actually use 5 special, which makes him taunt but cause people to assist, because they're going to ignore the taunt anyway, so it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. And it's immune to health-based damage. So Rexolate does nothing. Let's go. Okay, so that's the Reek's kit. Now, Jango Fett is kind of even scarier. So, deal physical damage to target enemy, gain 15% offense for each enemy suffering a debuff during this attack, and inflict stagger for 2 turns. If the target enemy is suffering a debuff, this ability deals damage a second time. Then you have his rocket, which can cause issues, guys, because if he one-shots Shakti or one-shots Fives, the run's done. Now, the other thing is, say, because he hits 2 people, say he hits Fives, right? And then he hits Rex. Now, Fives may sacrifice, right? But if he inflicted healing immunity on Rex, Rex will not gain anything straight away. So he may just die the next time. Also, Kanji Club, welcome to the stream. It's nice to see you. Now, the burning. This is never off cooldown. Sorry, on cooldown. So this is always off cooldown. Django can literally burn 5 or 6 turns in a row, and when it does, when he does that, you just have to kind of put your hands up and say, okay, this is cool. So that's why you kind of want to save Rex's cleanse and Shakti's cleanse and use them in the right time, because trust me, the runs where Django burns is going to kind of screw you over. So next up we have this. Django Fett has 100% defense penetration and 50% max health. Enemies defeated on his turn can be revived. At the start of the encounter, whenever he defeats an enemy, he recovers 100% protection and gains Bounty Hunter Resolve until defeated. When he has Bounty Hunter Resolve, it's basically like normal Django Fett, right? So that's why you don't necessarily want to Rexolate Django too early, and then especially when someone's low on health, because the next turn if he kills them, protection's back, you're screwed. All Galactic Republic enemies had minus 20% potency for each debuff, and minus 40% tenacity. Enemies that are burning can't gain bonus turn meter. That makes sense. Django Fett has 85% offense while he has Bounty Hunter Resolve and 25% critical chance. And here is the final bit that's important. Do you remember the Reek's Trampled effect? Now, if Django has more stacks of Trampled than you do, you will deal no damage to him. So say Rex has 1 stack of Trampled and Django has 2, Rex will deal no damage to Django Fett. Now say it's the other way around, you will still deal damage. So the last thing you want to do is cleanse whoever has more Trampled, because otherwise you're going to screw yourself over. And finally, I'm not going to do this because if I did it we'd lose, and you can go watch videos online about it. If the Reek dies before Django Fett, he gains 200% offense and 50 speed stacking at each turn, and he just one-shots everyone. Yeah, but don't kill the Reek before Django Fett. So that is basically all the mechanics summarized. I'm not going to read this all out, I don't really care. Okay, so we got the basic on the opening, and then we got this. Okay, so I'm going to take 1 second and tell you something that a lot of people do, and if you do this, you're doing it wrong. Cleanse. Please don't cleanse. Firstly, when you have Trampled, you gain no turn meter. So if we cleanse, we gain no turn meter, and yeah, we gain tenacity up for 2 turns, but we want to save that. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to come over to one of the B2s, and we're just going to basic. Okay, now do you remember me saying before about calling the assist? Because we have Trampled, it won't do anything. So we're going to save that, and we're just going to basic again. Beautiful. And then we're going to pass the turret over to Echo. Okay, that's okay. And now we're going to target this same B2, and we're actually going to cleanse the Trampled on Shakti. Now, because they're heroes in Lancer Geo, they're going to attack multiple times. And, yeah, this is where it becomes quite useful. Now, we are actually going to throw the grenade, but we're going to target this guy, and you'll see why. Because the turret's going to assist, and the turret will kill off this B2. Beautiful. You always want to make sure the B2s go away first. Now, I'm kind of looking here, and Rex is in a good position to sacrifice. These two are also looking pretty good as well. So our options are to basic, which will hit twice and give offense up. Or we could use this one, which will cleanse, but it will also give speed up to Shakti so she takes another turn. This is what I'm actually going to use here, because I want her to cycle back around to this, just so we have it on the off chance that we need it. So we're going to use that. She gives herself speed up. We still get the offense up. Okay, there's the burn, which is why we always want to be careful, because we need to cleanse that. Okay, now, this is kind of a little bit scary. We are actually going to cleanse this on Shakti again. It gives some protection back, and it just helps a little bit. There's a sacrifice, so we're off to a really good start here. And then we'll basic, and then that's the B2 done. Okay, so guys, do you remember what I said before? You don't ever want to hit this guy with bad damage, because he's going to gain speed, turn meter, and offense. So when we have Rex, we always hit Django. When we are using characters like Shakti, you always hit Django. It doesn't matter that we're not going to do any damage. That's kind of irrelevant here, guys. Also, looking at health, I'm not going to bother about healing yet. I'm actually going to save it. So I'm just going to basic, get the offense up. Okay, Rex has just been hit again. That kind of sucks. And look, we're tied on stacks, so hitting Django does nothing here. So we're actually going to go and start hitting the Reek. Get a little bit of damage over there. I'm going to throw the grenade. It does a little bit more damage. And then we're going to come back over to Django and we're going to hit him once. Alright, there's the burning again. It does kind of suck, I'm going to be honest. Okay, so we now have an option. We can cleanse Trampled. But if we cleanse Trampled on Rex, then, you know, we're going to be in a position where we can't hit this guy. Check cooldowns. He's not going to be applying Trample to everyone. It's just one person. So the options are to heal someone, which I think is what we're going to do here. I actually think we're going to heal up on Arc Trooper here. We should have... That was a misplay. We should have actually hit Django. But that's okay. Alright, so we're going to go next anyway. So we're going to just hit the Reek there. We've got 2 stacks now on Echo, which is kind of nice. Just keep him basicking. That expose is very, very nice. We're going to come over here. Do the turret. The turret does more damage. And then we're going to come over here. Now this is kind of where it gets a little bit difficult. Because, again, we kind of don't want this guy to lose Trampled. But, at the same time, we are just in a very, very bad position. In terms of survivability. I'm actually going to basic here. Because I want the offense up. And then we're going to throw the grenade. The grenade should... That's very annoying. That's very annoying. Okay, we're going to just kill him off. Basic. Okay, burning. That kind of sucks. Okay, let's come over here. Alright. This is very early to kill him. But I think we're going to do it. Okay. Yeah, I think this might be a loss. We should have probably cleansed. Okay. That's kind of annoying. Alright, let's cleanse it here. My worry there was if we had a cleanse with Rex. Or Shaq-T. I was more worried about them killing Echo and getting the stuff back. That's okay. Alright, maybe Arc Trooper can kind of carry us here? You never know. Okay, so at this point, it's just whether or not we can survive, pretty much. We have got the turret on us, so we're going to basic. Hitting Rex there is very, very nice. I just want to quickly jump in here and say this move right here is probably the one that decides the battle. In this position, you have 3 choices. You either basic for offense up and hopefully Arc Trooper can get through that way. You either apply the stand your ground to Shaq-T or to Arc Trooper for that extra bit of protection. Or you make the decision I did, which is to heal Rex. Now, at first sight, this may seem bad because Rex is not going to be killing the Rick, and neither is Shaq-T. However, Rex can take a hit, which is what happens in this case. Obviously, there is an RNG factor to this, but by making this decision, I enable Arc Trooper to stay alive longer, and it enables me to win the battle. Oh, this is kind of tough. Do we cleanse or do we heal? I'm going to be real, guys. I think I'm actually going to heal. On Rex. Then we're going to form up. It does prevent some of the explosives. Okay, that was kind of clutch. Keep the turret coming. Okay. See, this will do, like, next to no damage, unfortunately. I think... Okay, this is big brain. We're going to do that. Biggest brain plays you're ever going to see. I think we've won, but this was not a good run. There we go. Oh my word. Okay, that was actually a bad example of how it can go. Alright, I think the misplay was with the cleanse. I was just very worried about Echo dying to Django and Django recovering. Which is why I went for the kill instead.